I don't know how many of you all know this. I think we have mentioned this a couple of times. So both of us once tried to become professional cricketers. Both of us had dreams to play for India. We evidently didn't, and we evidently aren't pursuing playing professional cricket anymore. But that's when we thought of this. The three things that, like, not a lot of people talk about. People don't prepare you for it while trying to become a professional cricketer.
So I think first thing is about selections. Selections is obviously a key process of getting through the age group cricket
Ranks,
and
yeah.
yeah. And one thing that you don't, a lot of people don't realize is that there is insane amount of competition.
Yeah.
Like we know India is big, but like when we say insane, the competition is crazy. Like you have thousands of people at like under 12 who are coming to the nets for a selection, and your chances of getting through are like very less. Like
Unless, of course, you're scoring a lot of runs.
even then, like there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
guarantee
there's no
that you'll get
guarantee.
through.
Yeah.
You'll have someone's godfather. You'll have all those things. Obviously, there is politics even at that level.
Yeah.
It's probably better now, at least. Like we are from Karnataka, like from Bangalore, so it's probably better in KC. KC is one
hopefully.
of the better boards.
Yeah, hopefully. Like this point came up because we were talking about the number of times we have woken up in the morning, taken a drive to Chinnaswamy Stadium with the hope of getting selected because that's why you have to go see the list. And as an under 14 kid, you go see the list and you realize your name's not there. And this is just zonal, right? This is the first level where you have to get selected. And you don't see the list, you come back home because, oh, there are two more lists coming up. And then you take the same drive again few days later and then few days after that, not seeing your name.
And like we were in the pre-metro time when
Oh,
we had to
yeah.
go, so we had to kind of
Yeah.
struggle to get to MG
I mean,
Road,
our dads.
Chinnaswamy, or dads,
Yeah.
or like
And so, like, as an under 14, as an under 12, you're already getting rejected so many times. Like, after a point, it's almost like a norm. Like, you know, after under 16, you know, if you haven't scored, you're going there just to see your name not being there, and you're coming back, and that's fine. But I feel like it also builds this character.
it builds a lot of character. I think sport in general
Yeah, that's
does
true, that's
build character. Like I attribute a lot of my personality probably
Yeah.
to cricket, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the thing is, you even if you have like an outstanding season or like people see you in the nets, like the coaches come and ask your name and they ask which club you are from.
Oh my God.
And your hopes are up.
That's when you know that's when you feel like you're getting selected, and then you still don't.
And very interesting thing that happened to me. So I had played for two clubs at the time. I had scored all my runs for Coles Cricket Club, but I went from Ryan, like I went from my school for selection. So when I gave my name, they're like, okay, you're from Ryan school, and my Ryan scores were not like anywhere near. Like Coles, I had like 150 and all, but so that's also something you learn. Like
Yeah.
go from the right place. All that makes a difference. So, yeah.
That's the first point on selection. The second is as a kid and when you're starting off playing cricket, if you call yourself an all-rounder, you need to be very, very sure you like what you're doing. Because there are a lot of times, I'm a wicketkeeper batsman. I'm very lucky. I get to do the two things that I like. But a lot of the times, I have friends like him who are batting all-rounders or bowling all-rounders, especially batting all-rounders. The second you say you're a batting all-rounder, you're probably going to get a lot more bowling than you are as a batter, unless you have a proven record of scoring a lot of runs. And so I feel like this is something to keep in mind because the second you say you're an all-rounder, 80% of the time you're going to get more bowling than batting.
Yeah, like I remember growing up in age group cricket, like in all those selections, and also this is from personal experience where this is exactly what happened. The first time I went for selection, I told him I'm an all-rounder, and he's like, "Okay, you ball first," and I just ball. I never batted, and I spoke to people. I think I spoke to you also, and I don't know. Someone told me that the trick is that you have to say you're a batsman, and then you have to bat right, and then you have to say, "Sir, can I ball?" And that's exactly what happened the second time. Yeah.
That's exactly what you need to do. I mean, if you're a bowler, please bowl. Be sure of bowlers at this point. But like even as a wicketkeeper batsman, the second you say you're a wicketkeeper batsman, you're not getting opening. And I'm an opener. I've always opened, at least when I used to play a lot of cricket. And so what I used to do is I used to tell people that I'm an opening batsman who also kept. Like I'm also a wicketkeeper. As much as I liked wicketkeeping a lot more than batting, to be fair. But I used to tell people that I'm an opening batter, and then because then you get opening batting, and then
Yeah, fair.
Like in their heads, they already know he's a top order batsman.
Yeah.
So that's settled. Who also keeps. Also, we have two and
Backup
one, 2 and
keeper.
1. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's that. What's the third, Pratibh? And I think this is the most. I was
So-
unprepared for it.
So the third thing I think Ashwin and I were discussing, and most of the things that we could think of that some kid starting out might not know is
Yeah.
related to selection. But this thing in particular, like actually I don't know if it counts as like a thumb rule you need to do if you're a good player. Like I don't know. So basically the thing is, whenever we go for matches, you never go in all whites.
Yeah.
You go in maybe the white jersey and down you're wearing shorts
Or
and
like
chappals.
tracks or whatever. Yeah, and you're wearing chappals. Like that's the golden rule of being a good player, and that's when you know you are a good player. Because I remember this. I was telling Pratap this that when I was 14, I was lucky to be in a good under 16 club where there were a lot of state players, right? And this was my first big game, first match of the league. I walk in wearing full whites because I'm so excited. And my teammates, who of course, like we weren't all friends because I was playing with most of them for the first time. They looked at me as if I was an outlier, as if I've come from this different world. They're like, "Why are you wearing whites?" And I said, "Don't we have matches in our whites?" And then they had to tell me that you don't come in your whites. You have a backpack.
Yeah.
You also have a backpack.
You have a backpack.
Yeah, you just
along
don't
with
have a
your
kid
big
bag.
fat kit.
Yeah, you don't just have a kid bag. You have a backpack. You wear chappals. You wear shorts because that's when you know you're a good player.
But that can also backfire. Like I've seen kids who would come
Oh yeah.
in chadda and chappal and then they would like get out for zero,
Yeah.
get smashed.
Or like the opposite. People who come in whites and they score a lot
They
of
do
runs
well.
and go back home like
Yeah,
that. And that's chill, but it's just
There's like it's almost like an unspoken rule of sorts.
and it's so
And-
unnecessary.
Yeah, it's very unnecessary. But yeah, if you're someone who wants to show, then show.
Yeah.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
if you want to be perceived as a good player, this is how you are. Not your batting or bowling, but what you wear.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our first video. We will do stuff like this on Tuesdays. We'll talk about stuff. We'll do a lot of different things. We have cricket net sessions coming up. All that's coming up. There's a lot more Tuesday content coming up without Friday content. So stay tuned for that. Like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff. A lot of you haven't subscribed, so please subscribe. It will always help us.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching.